Pakistan has conducted overnight military attacks inside Iran 2 days after Iran conducted strikes inside Pakistani territory. Islamabad says it targeted bases of separatist Balochi militants just across the border. Iranian media said at least 9 people were killed. This after Iran carried out strikes on Tuesday against what it called terrorist targets just inside Pakistan. Video from a human rights group purportedly shows the aftermath of that attack, said to have killed 2 children. Pakistan's foreign ministry called its strikes in Iran an intelligence-based operation against terrorists and added that Pakistan has, quote, great respect for the Iranian people.
This morning's action was taken in light of credible intelligence of impending large-scale terrorist activities against Pakistan by these terrorists. This action is a manifestation of Pakistan's unflinching resolve to protect and defend its national security against all threats. The successful execution of this highly complex operation is also a testimony to the professionalism of the armed forces of Pakistan.
And for more, I'm joined now in the studio by DW's Beenish Javid. Good to see you, Beenish. Can you tell us more about these retaliatory airstrikes by Pakistan? What is going on here?
So Pakistan says that it has carried out precision military strikes inside Iran. It says targeted terrorist hideouts, a terrorist group known as Baloch Liberation Army. Pakistan blames that this group has carried out several terrorist attacks inside Pakistan. And basically, it was targeting these terrorists. That's the official version of the government. But why these attacks have happened is because it's a retaliation of the Iranian strikes inside Pakistan, which Iran said that it was targeting also terrorist hideouts that were targeting Iran. Pakistan saw Iranian strikes as breach of Pakistan's sovereignty, as a violation of its airspace. It condemned those strikes, expelled Iranian ambassador, also withdrew its ambassador. So there's a lot of anger in the country, and we see that these strikes that now Pakistan has carried out is basically a retaliation of what Iran did.
OK, and yet Pakistan and Iran have generally gotten on well with each other, haven't they? They've cooperated with each other. So are these tit-for-tat actions surprising to you?
It is surprising because many in Pakistan and also officials in Pakistani government, they see Iran as a brotherly Muslim country. And although Iran is a Shia majority country, Pakistan has tried to always balance out its relationship, for example, with Sunni majority Saudi Arabia and Shia majority Iran, because Pakistan doesn't want the conflict of Shia-Sunni to harbor or happen in the country. Pakistan maintains at foreign policy level, at defense level, close relations with Iran. Just this week, Pakistani and Iranian navies staged a military exercise. So it was very surprising for Pakistani officials, these Iranian strikes. I think what has happened is we cannot disconnect with what is happening in the Middle East, Israel-Hamas war, and Iran is under pressure for various reasons. Iran is under severe criticism from the Western world that it's backing these militant groups in the Middle East. Iran was attacked by Islamic State, an attack that killed 90 people just recently. So Iran is also under pressure to show that it has power, it's a strong country. So I think it was a mix of different reasons why Iran carried out a strike in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm. If we can just have a look inside Pakistan, the Pakistani military has been facing criticism recently, hasn't it, for suppressing the political opposition. What could these airstrikes do for the military's legitimacy amongst the people of Pakistan?
It's true. It's not a very good time for the Pakistani military. It has been regularly accused of interfering in Pakistani politics. One of the most popular political party in Pakistan, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, we know his leader Imran Khan is in jail. Many in Pakistan accuse the military of basically ousting him from the political scene, and that really damaged Pakistan's military's reputation. But what has happened now is basically the country is seeing it as an attack on Pakistan's sovereignty. So there's a lot of sentiment that is now behind Pakistani military, that the Pakistani people would be behind the Pakistani military. Whatever it has to do to make sure that the country is safe. And I think for now, there is definitely, we can see an improvement in Pakistan's military image and legitimacy.
DW's Binish Javed, thank you so much for that. And for a business perspective on Pakistan, DW spoke with Rizwan Shukat at the World Economic Forum in Davos in Switzerland. He's the CEO of a management consultancy called VTT Global. He spoke to DW's editor-in-chief, Manuela Kasper-Claridge. Take a listen.
So what's your reaction to the escalating situation?
I mean, it is unprecedented. It is of concern. Strategically, it's of serious concern. Tactically, senior heads have to prevail. People will have to look at what's going on across. Pakistan and Iran have very, very good relations. And over the last 2-3 years, we felt that those relations are becoming more cordial. But this obviously is out of the blue. We have to realize what's behind it. And it is a dangerous precedent, especially keeping in view of what's happening across in the Persian Gulf, across the region. I am pretty sure that Pakistan government and the people who are in charge are looking at it much more carefully. Having said that, I think Pakistan's sovereignty is very, very important. And nobody should be allowed to just cross the border and do what they want. There are diplomatic channels and they should have been exercised very well. So yes, we are concerned, but I'm pretty sure people at the helm of affairs are going to take this seriously and calm things down.
Now, how is the situation at the border? Why is it so tense there? What kind of groups are there?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what groups are there. I don't have that information, but I know that Baluchistan, the areas in Balochistan and across the border, there has been some movement from the Iran side, I am assuming, which has not been very comforting for Pakistan. Pakistan has been in Balochistan. We have seen a lot of attacks, which were obviously, the number had increased in the last few weeks and months. So Pakistan, I'm pretty sure, had been talking to Iranian government about this. And all of a sudden, in Iran taking the, escalation, going on to the escalation ladder was unprecedented. I think that should have not been done. And Pakistan had to do what it had to do. The border situation, I think, was tense. But this was not something which we thought was required.
And why are you so worried? Why are you so worried? What could happen now? I mean, could this escalate further, in your opinion?
I don't, as a Pakistani and a person, I don't think I'm that worried that it's going to go to a different level. Worried because Pakistan and Iran had good relations, and there was no reason to stir it. Of course, when such thing happen, it's not a happy moment for anybody. So my worry is more that we were going towards a trajectory of being great neighbors, great friends, and all of a sudden this has happened. So obviously it's going to take us a few years back. And yeah, sure. So everybody should be concerned about that. And keeping in view of the situation in the region, and people, somebody stirring it a little more might be a different, but I'm sure Pakistan has very, very sane heads, and I'm pretty sure Iran has it. So better sense will prevail.
Joining us now for more from Karachi is Shamil Shams from DW Asia. Shamil, good afternoon. Tell us more about these airstrikes in Iran and, more importantly, why they have happened.
Well, this terrorism issue has been happening along the Balochistan-Pakistan border for a very long time, for years, almost, I think, over a decade. Why this is happening now, I must say that we must try to understand the gravity of the issue. It's a very serious matter. In the past, we saw that Islamabad brushed it under the carpet, didn't want to offend Iran because it's not the first strike that Iran carried out on Pakistani soil. But in the past, we saw that Islamabad ignored such things. This time it didn't. So that shows the seriousness of the matter. Why this is happening now? I think the onus is on Iran because we see an increasing Iranian aggression in the region, in the Middle East, close to Yemen. Now we see it in Pakistan and the airstrike in Iraq that Iran carried out. So we see that Iran is becoming increasingly aggressive in the region. And this, I believe, is one of the manifestations of Iranian aggression.
It's interesting what you said, Shamil, that Pakistan would brush these kinds of attacks on its territory from Iran under the carpet earlier, but this time chose to respond. Why?
Because Pakistan feels threatened. Pakistan has a very serious issue in Balochistan related to separatism, and this has been happening for such a long time. I think it is becoming increasingly difficult for the Pakistani military establishment to ignore this. And there are also issues, domestic issues, where we see the Balochistan separatist movement and its supporters being a big problem for the state, for the government. So if the military, and after what Iran did, the drone attacks on Pakistani soil, I don't think that the Pakistani military could have ignored such a big aggression.
Speaking about the military in Pakistan has been criticized recently for its suppression of the political opposition. Do these airstrikes provide it with newfound legitimacy among the people?
I think it will, but it depends on how things unfold. If this situation escalates, I think the public support for the Pakistani military will increase. If, let's say, nothing happens much and there will be a diplomatic solution to the crisis, if China gets involved, I think then it won't happen. But I believe that this will definitely provide a lot of legitimacy to the Pakistani military, which is facing quite an opposition from political parties inside Pakistan. Yes.
We'll leave it there for the time being, but thanks so much for joining us today. Shamil Chams from DW Asia.
Thanks for having me, Biresh.
Yusra Askari is a journalist based in Karachi in Pakistan. I asked her for more on the airstrikes and why they had taken place.
From what our sources do tell us, and the Foreign Office does confirm, 7 hideouts of terrorists of the BLA, that's the Baloch Liberation Army, and the Baloch Republican Army have been targeted. We are hearing reports of dozens of fatalities. No civilian fatalities have been reported. We are also hearing that the losses have been immense on the Iranian side. At the moment, Pakistan has said that they have carried out this attack, which is based on credible intelligence, and it was a targeted military attack. They are also saying that whereas the way ahead is cooperation to target terrorism collectively, Pakistan's sovereignty does remain supreme, and they will not take any blow at Pakistan lightly.
Iran and Pakistan essentially both claim to have attacked militants that want an independent Balochistan. Why aren't we seeing more cooperation between these countries against a common adversary?
What our sources do tell us that Pakistan has gone on record to say that they have repeatedly asked Iran to act against these elements, and Iran has paid no heed. And therefore, this operation was carried out. We are also hearing that several allies of Pakistan and Iran are intervening to pacify the situation before it turns even more volatile than it already is. At the moment, what we do know that Pakistan's military has turned most of its might towards the Iranian side of its borders, and we do know that heavy patrolling does continue on that border as we speak.
Speaking of Pakistan's military, it has been facing criticism in the past year over its crackdown on the political opposition in Pakistan. Will today's airstrikes, in a sense, help it recover legitimacy among the people?
Overnight, we have seen a huge, I would say, sentiment redirect itself towards supporting the Pakistani military and pushing it to act in Pakistan. Therefore, we do know that political kind of climate that had been raised and charged will see a change in the near future.
We'll leave it there for the time being, but thanks so much for talking to us today. Journalist Yusra Askari reporting from Karachi there. Thank you.